So June and I are coming at you live via our jammies.
We're having a jam cast.
Today I am so excited.
Are you excited?
Yes, I am excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay, are you gonna let me get this intro out?
Sorry.
Aiden, tell me a story. Today I am so excited to have my good friend June Marie Davis on my podcast. She's also my creative partner in a lot of ways. She's a Brooklyn-born creative genius, writer, producer, actress, and director. Basically, she does it all. June created the web series The Go-To, which I'm lucky enough to be a part of, and she's the mastermind behind The Pub, a play that was nominated for Best Production at the New York Theater Festival in 2024. And new plays in the works titled I Was Here and The Cause Is You. Her journey from working in the medical field to owning her own production company is so inspiring. Let's dive into her story, her process, and everything that makes June such a force in the industry.
Wow.
Right?
That intro is intimidating.
But it's true.
Whoa.
To start things off, I want to talk about how we met. We met on, I'll tell my side and then you can tell your side, okay?
Okay.
So we met on the set of FBI Most Wanted. Mm-hmm. We were both running away from a mall shooter. So cute, so cutesy, so demure.
Sure. It was Christmas. Season was Christmas.
It was Christmas. 2021. Oh. 2021.
Was it?
2021. Yep, it was. That was the year Mom P passed away, so I remember a lot of things about that year very vividly. When I saw June, we were in line getting props for the mall. Yeah, we were getting bags.
We were getting bags, yeah.
And I saw her, and she was like talking to somebody else, and this has happened several times, June, but not several, like 3 times.
Okay.
It happened with Sadie, it happened with this one girl in high school, and it happened with you.
Okay.
When I saw her, I was like, we're going to be friends. I'm going to be her friend. She's going to be my friend. And
I know, I remember I turned over and I was like, hi. Mm-hmm. And it was just like so kismic. It was just like natural. Like we've known each other forever.
We have definitely in a past life.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, we were paired together in the scene. Like, it was literally written in the stars. It was meant to be.
Yeah, for sure.
And I, as you know, as via all my social medias and all my online endeavors, I am an oversharer. So I told her everything about my life. And she loved that. And she, I don't know, maybe she felt sorry for me. Maybe she felt inspired by me. Maybe she fell in love with me and she secretly is still.
I am in love with
Who knows? But it led us to here today. And at the end of that day, she was like, so I'm creating a web series. Do you want to be a part of it? And the rest is history. Catch me on the Go-To, which we will get more into in a little bit later.
Right.
So tell me your side, besides what you just told us.
No, I think you pretty much said it all. No, I agree with everything you said. I think it was just like, it was so natural and so easy. Like, we just jumped into conversation. Like, we just spoke to each other like yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
It was kind of crazy, but I feel like for me, I feel like that's my Southern, that's my Texas, because and being raised by grandparents, I just naturally can talk to people.
But I think that's also the Latino in us too, you know, because we're always like, hi, or, you know.
And I feel like neither one of us look Latino.
Right.
So we connected via that.
Right. Well, yeah, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Let's start with the basics. What was it like growing up in New York and Brooklyn?
Ooh, so I grew up in the projects, Coney Island houses.
Nice.
Whatever. It was interesting. I think it was, you know, the typical middle class family, single parent household, and my brother and I and my mom, and mom had like 2 jobs. My grandmother took care of us during the day. You know, I don't think it's anything uncommon.
No, in America,
nowadays.
No. So. Definitely, I mean, y'all know my story, so.
So yeah, I mean, I had a decent childhood. I can't say that I haven't.
That's good. A lot of people can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom, oof, she did her thing.
Shout out
She
to
took
Mom.
she took us out of that like quote unquote cycle.
She broke the generational curses. What was your early career like before you got into all of this? Because like you said, like you mentioned, you were in the medical field. Did you have any other jobs before you ventured into this?
I did actually. I worked for the Board of Education.
Oh.
It was called the Cooperative Education Program at Lincoln High School in
Shout out
Brooklyn.
Lincoln High School.
It was 2 weeks of work, alternate weeks, and then there was a special program. It was alternate weeks you worked at whatever they assigned you, and I was assigned the Board of Education, and I ended up working in the chancellor's office.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool, and you got to earn money. I mean,
and that was early on in your career.
yeah, when I was in my teens.
Fair enough.
So we were able to make money and still get an education. And we were still in the same, it was like a group of us. It was like maybe 15 kids, 12 kids. I forget the number. But we would go to the same class because we were all in the same program.
That's
so it
cool.
wasn't like a typical high school where you would switch classes and everything was intermixed. At the beginning it was, because it was like, I know that's weird.
No, it is weird, but it's cool. This is one of the main reasons I like, and one of my favorite questions to ask all New Yorkers that grew up here is what was growing up in New York like? Because it's such a different reality than from what I know in Texas. Like for us, there's like 3 or 4 elementary schools, 4 or 5 maybe, and then there's there's 2 middle schools, but there was one 6th grade center. So
that's like a small town, right?
Well,
like,
no, we have, small town for New York. Yeah, it's small town. It was like 22,000 people.
Okay.
So we had like 5 elementary schools, 1 6th grade center. We had 2 middle schools, and then we had 1 high school. So it was like we would go back and forth. We all basically knew each other.
Yeah.
But we didn't I don't know. We never like really separated unless you moved to a different town. So I still have friends that are from elementary school.
Oh, see?
I have friends who are from pre-K.
Oh, wow.
So like it's crazy.
There's one friend, Sarah Dean. She's the one person that I keep in touch with from the cooperative education, because that's how I met her.
That's so cute.
Shout
out Sarah Dean.
Yeah, and then we're still friends now. So, and keep in touch on social media, whatever, with with other people from high school and stuff. But yeah, so that was really cool. I was like, I got to make money and I got to get an education.
Yeah.
So
just for reference, for anybody who doesn't know New Yorkers like that, I feel like oftentimes New Yorkers have to go through different schools all over the city and stuff. And so like you never get to stay in the same area. So that's why it's such a interesting question to me that I love to ask.
I just picked my local high school.
Fair enough.
But it's a very famous high school. I mean, Stefan Marbury went there.
Nice.
And,
after your co-op or your...
I ended up getting hired by the Board of Ed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I worked in the correspondence unit in the office, where basically you read like letters parents send to the chancellor, and you basically are in the computer and you basically just summarize the letter. Yeah. And then it gets sorted to whichever department it needs to get to.
Awesome. Then after that?
I ended up modeling, believe it or not. Yeah, like I left the Board of Ed. I could have had a really good pension right about now. Thinking about it.
But alas, here we are.
So I ended up modeling for like a few years.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was fun and different. And
what was your favorite part about modeling?
I think, honestly, feeling comfortable within myself, because I think I'm aging myself, and that's fine. It is what it is. So I ended up going to Barbizon Modeling School.
Yes, I've heard about it. I was actually going to work for them
Really?
a few months ago, yeah. But everything just fell apart. But that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so, and I didn't do it for modeling. I did not do it for modeling. I did it more for like self-esteem,
Yeah.
just to like, feel more confident in my skin.
Definitely understand.
And my teacher, or my instructor, not teacher, my instructor, Victoria, who is also an actress, and we still keep in touch on social media. And I go
Shout out Victoria.
I see her every so often, and some of her work. She's the one that said, "Give it a year." She was like, "Try it out for a year. Send your pictures." I made comp cards when comp cards were a thing. And she said, send it out to a few, agencies, see what happens. And lo and behold, I started freelancing with I think 3 agencies. And then, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I booked some fit jobs and showroom. I did a lot of showroom modeling. I didn't do too much print. I did do Glamour Mag, maybe I think twice. Or something.
Well, how many other people have done Glamour Mag, huh?
True. Yeah. It was the what not to wear.
Okay, well. I don't know about what not to wear model, but I ain't never heard of that.
No, but they put me in some really frumpy stuff. I mean, bad stuff.
Well, that was kind of messed up on their part.
For your body type.
Yeah.
Because I was much heavier back then, and
You were plus size?
I was thick.
Thickums?
I was a thickums, and I still am a thick. So, but so the whole what not to wear for your body type.
Okay, that's fair.
That was your body type. Like if you were pear shape or whatever shape box, they put you in
shaped like a Coke bottle.
Mm-hmm. So they'll put you in really bad stuff, and then they'll tell you, okay, for pear-shaped people, this is what to wear, whatever, hourglass shape.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was before and after pictures. So that was cool.
What was the main thing you took away from modeling?
Ooh. Oh, TBD. I don't know.
Did you gain confidence from it?
I think I gained confidence more in the class than I did with
Actually
modeling.
doing it.
Yeah. I think.
I mean, when they put you in what not to wear, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still people are still looking at you. You're basically being objectified by, all right, do you look good in the clothes?
Literally, and you continue to be objectified. It's our whole career.
I mean,
yeah.
It was nice. I had a great time. I mean, I loved working with the people. I met some really great friends that I'm still close to today. Yeah, I did. I think I did gain confidence, but I think I gained confidence once I finished with the class,
Mm-hmm.
and then picking it up. Picking up some jobs, nice jobs, and being able to make that a career for some time, without having to do another career.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
But then from there, it started dwindling down because you know how they want new faces, fresh faces, blah, 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 and whatever.
After that?
I ended up, I don't know why, do not ask me why, but I have always wanted to work at an office, a medical office, a dental office. It always fascinated me. I do not understand why.
Follow your heart. I won't yuck your yum.
No, but I was just hi, welcome to whatever. And I don't know. It just always fascinated me. I was just you know what? I want to do that. So I did. Yeah. I interviewed at an OBGYN and I got hired. And they hired me because of my smile, they said.
She does have a great smile.
So I ended up working there as a front end receptionist, greeting the patients and, checking them in to check-in reception, whatever. I worked my way up to assistant manager before I left.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What was the main thing you took away from your medical
I think
career?
Service. I really like acts of service, being able to give someone, a smile and like, oh, hi, or like make someone feel good when, they got bad news or, just,
being there for people.
Just being there for people. Yeah. I'm kind of that person. I'm the go-to, literally.
Okay, then after the medical field, what did you get into?
So during the medical field, my grandma, she ended up diagnosed with kidney cancer.
Kidney cancer.
Right. So, and that was a whole big thing because basically I had to care for her, and she was caring for my uncle who was disabled. He was deaf, and he was also an amputee, and he was wheelchair bound. So
a lot going on.
And so when my grandmother's health declined, then I had to step in. My mom was away. They lived in Spain at the time, my parents. Yeah, it was a lot. I had to deal with grandma and my uncle and still work like 12 hours, so it took a toll on me physically, mentally. And then my grandmother also got diagnosed with dementia. So on top of having cancer, she had to get her kidney removed, and dealing with all of that, and then having to care for my uncle as well. That actually was like, you know what, I need to take a minute, take a breath, and I wasn't happy. I just started not liking to go to work. I love the people, but I just the work was just not for me. So I was just like, you know what, I think it's time for me to move on. I started working for eJazz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
which we've both been interviewed by eJazz.
Right.
So if you want to catch those interviews, I'll link them here.
Yeah.
Or I'll put them in the notes.
And then I decided I wanted to use my degree because I went to college, Brooklyn College, and got my degree in film studies.
Nice.
And I never used it. I was in the medical field for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? I think I want to use my degree. So while I was working at the doctor's office, going through whatever, this was in the very beginning before my grandmother got sick. I still had a couple of credits that I needed to take for school. I was working in the medical field. While I was going to college, I needed an extra credit. I had a couple of credits to do, and I was like, you know what? I'm really not happy here anymore, and I wanna use my, my degree. I'm going to school for film study, so I reached out to a modeling agency because I came from modeling. So I was like, I reached out to a modeling agency. I was like, hey, I just need something in the arts just so I can get a credit outside of school. And they were like, well, you have background in films. So I did some films. I produced some films in between all of that. And then I was introduced to eJazz, and I met eJazz, and it was something similar to you, how we just met and it just clicked. Yeah. Worked with him. He was doing a film called The Telling. I jumped on that, was a producer on that. Then I started working a few little videos because he was also a fashion designer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
is that what led you to your production company?
Yeah, I think so. Watching him do a lot of the stuff.
Tell me about your production company.
I mean, it was just really something I wanted to do. I wanted to have something that was for the arts, and I wanted to name it. I wanted to have my own company. Why not?
Why not? If no one's going to do it yourself.
Yeah, I wanted to create. Well, I wasn't getting hired for stuff, so I was just and I started writing, and I've always written. And I had a poetry book, and I was published at 16 for a poem that I wrote called What is Love? But
you want me to link your poetry?
No,
no, I can't. It's on Amazon.
It's okay. Well, that's not in there. That was a book I decided. I was told I couldn't do it, so I did it. That's how my book started.
Maybe I will link it. In regards to your production company, what visions or missions drives your company, and how do you choose the projects you undertake?
Well, the projects are all mine. That's the...
So far.
So far, yes. I would like to branch out with other people's work, but I kind of like want to do selfishly because that's another reason why I started the production company is because, you know, I had all this content and I wanted to like produce it and create it and write it and do all of that. And I was always helping, you know, I was always like a production assistant or a producer for other people's work and loved it. So happy I did it. I learned so much. But I was just like, you know, I do have a voice and I do have stuff that I want to put out in the world. And after COVID, I was just like, you got to create your own content. I just need to do it. And I did it.
You did. And I'm so grateful she did. Oh, God, has it benefited me? Oh. And June's definitely going to be a producer on my series that it will be coming out eventually one day.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
So let's transition into some projects. Something we've been mentioning a lot. The go-to. So the go-to delves into personal growth and self-discovery. What was the inspiration behind the series?
Originally, the go-to was a title for my grandmother's story. And it was supposed to be a feature after she passed or, you know, in the midst of her surgery, her cancer, her dementia. But it was too much. I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, it was too heavy. It was too heavy right at the moment. Yeah, so I kind of like put that on the back burner. But
do you think you're ever going to go back to that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I have it. It's there.
Well, I'm excited to hear her story one day.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to tell it for sure. I have pages written already, but I was just like, you know what, I just got to because it was too raw. My grandma had just passed away and it was just too much, you know?
Totally understand.
I used the go-to title to, you know, title our comedy web series. Yeah. And instead of having the drama, I never thought I was a comedic writer, but you know,
here we are.
It wasn't that bad.
Award-winning now. Can you walk us through your creative process when developing an episode from concept to final cut?
So majority of the episodes are written when I'm either in the shower, or on the toilet. Sorry. No joke. Not kidding.
You're just there and it's just coming to you?
Literally when I'm in the shower and I'm just like in my space with the universe, it's just us and like all of the creativity like happens there. And then there's stuff when I know I need to write stuff down when it's something that keeps coming back in my head. Like I'll think of something and it'll go away, but it'll come back. And if that happens like around 3 times, I'm just like, okay, that's me. Okay, that's it's something that keeps repeating. It's like a looped record. Like it just keeps going. So that's how I know, okay, this needs to get written down.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you approach character development and storytelling to ensure authenticity and relatability?
I tend to write for people I know.
So
like after question. I met, because when we were having our conversation, doing background, we had our conversation. I'm just like, and as you're talking and as I'm observing you doing whatever,
being
you, and I'm just like, okay, this is a character. So that's my writing process. So I kind of write for a particular person. And then that's how I did it with Beth, our Esther, who plays Beth.
You'll get to meet her eventually, don't worry.
And Roberto.
Yes, love Roberto.
Our super, Eric.
So all of them.
I met Eric on set, and I heard him talking, and I'm just like, I love his tone, just his vibe, just who he is, and I'm just like, that's Eric. As soon as it was just, I knew he was He was Eric.
He's hysterical.
Oh my God.
There was this one scene we did one time where Beth was like mad and we were sitting on both sides of her and he popped up obviously as he does. And then he came to sit on the ottoman in front of us and like his line, you could catch the episode here. I'll tag it here in the video and put it in the comments. But there was one specific point at the end of the episode where he was like, oh, no! So your character development is based off of the people that you meet in real life.
Yeah.
So how has casting been when you write a character and you don't have someone in mind? How do you go about that? Do you write the character and then you go through your Rolodex of people you know?
So I write a character and I already have a vision, not what they look like,
but who that person
is. Sometimes I can't verbally express it, but I visually, once I see that person, I'm just like, yep.
When you know, you know.
Right. It's weird. In terms of casting, like Couch was a lot of people, and it was like
that was the most.
That was the most cast. Yeah, that was a lot of people. But in terms of like the pub.
Which is the play that she did.
Which is the play.
And that I got to be in and which was nominated for Best Production.
Right. I just had an audition. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was there for that. I got to be cameraman.
Yeah. I held auditions and I wanted to see because, you have something in your head, but then when an actor comes in and they read the lines and they have their version, it's always nice to see, I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. I like the way, they portrayed that or they said that. So I can
really make or break your vision.
Mm-hmm. And I'm open to it. I'm open to it.
Well, I am so grateful that I get to be part of the Go-To and I got to be part of the play, the pub.
I always try to bring my people with me. I'm like, if I grow, they grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like that's such a good way to do it in this industry, and that's a good way to grow as yourself, is by bringing up others with you, because I feel like 9 times out of 10 somebody knows somebody who can help you in some way. And I know that's not the goal or your intention when doing this, and with bringing on the people you know and love and you support, I just feel like it is a fact. Like that's how So I feel like that's how so many celebrities are at their level, is because of who they know and who they grew up with. Like especially a lot of people in like the comedy world, like SNL and stuff. Like I've read a lot of biographies and watched a lot of interviews where they always say it's who they came up with is what made them and helped them.
Yeah, I mean, and like just having like you, Esther, Roberto, like. And like the cast, of the pub, read my work and like actually see the vision, and like actually me hearing and seeing my words or what I created, on screen or on stage. It's like, oh my God. It's so fulfilling.
I bet it's a really good feeling.
It's an amazing feeling. Stressful. But fulfilling. So, it's such an awesome feeling. It's such a high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can do something for somebody else, I'll do my darndest.
I love that about you. And I'm so grateful for it. Benefited me one too many times. Okay, so the pub was showcased at the New York Theater Festival. What themes or messages were you aiming to convey through the play?
Little context. I wrote the pub in honor of my grandma.
You do everything for your grandma. I love that.
It's very cathartic. This is my way of like releasing a lot of, the things that I held in an artistic way.
I can definitely relate to that with Mom Peggy. Like I have a lot of things I've wrote that I haven't shared yet, but or like even my podcast, my Instagram, my YouTube, my TikTok was started by a Mom Peggy story and a Mom Shauna story. Like I get it, and I definitely sympathize with that and understand that.
No, yeah, I mean, I think it's I think my grandmother is like guiding me, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
My grandmother, my uncle. I wanted to tell a story about a person with dementia, and I wanted to use it in a different way. So I used the car accident and the mother-in-law as the beacon for somebody. My grandmother used to, deal with Down syndrome, and that's one of the things that happens when you have dementia. And she went through sundown syndrome. And it's a form of hallucination. Like she'll hear things or she'll see things that we don't see. So I kind of used that and I put it in the pub. So Matthew, who is really not there but is there.
Yeah.
Eleonora is the only one that can really see him, that can see him in the quote unquote real world. Sometimes you ask yourself, what is the real world, right?
Yeah.
Are we the ones hallucinating or is she the one hallucinating? Because
you never know.
I used her as a beacon, as the vehicle to drive the message forward. And I think in the end, Matthew had to choose one of his families. And it's never an easy decision, but I think there's beauty in that.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure. I can see how that's cathartic.
Yeah.
How did your experiences in film help influence your work in theater?
Okay, so I don't have any theater training at all. So that was interesting. So
Even
writing, structure, everything. So I had my friend Stephanie. She was really cool. I met her on Gossip Girl. I talked to her about the play, and I was like, for whatever reason, it wasn't coming out as a screenplay. The pub was just not. She volunteered to read my work, and I was just like, okay, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. So I sent it to her, and she was like, okay, so let's meet. We'll have our feedback, so, whatever. And she was like, okay, are you ready? And I'm just like, yeah. And I'm thinking, this is fucking awesome. This is like, right? She was like, structure is wrong. It's very action driven. Theater is very dialogue heavy. It's dialogue driven. She was just like, yeah, you have to change all of this. I'm just like,
oh, cool.
She was like, there's good, it's good, but it needs work. And I'm just like, After that punch in the stomach, I took some time. I found the structure, rewrote all of it. I didn't ask her to read it again. I just had a table read so I can hear it out loud, and then I would get feedback and determine whether or not I wanted to move forward with the project. I invited Stephanie. She participated. I was really, really curious about what her reaction was going to be. Her exact words, holy shit, what a rewrite. I was just like, So
I got you nominated for Best Production.
I mean, look, that was my first play, and now I'm kind of like in this play mode, writing play mode.
I know you are.
So we just had another.
We had another table read for two of her new works. If you want to catch the pub, I'll link it here, and I'll actually link it in the bio as well. It's available on YouTube.
And we got it on public access television.
Which we also got the go-to on the Brooklyn Public Access Television and the Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
That's right.
So Brick, and we won.
Be Hilarious.
For the Be Free Awards at the Brick Awards, it's Be Hilarious.
The Be Hilarious Award, yeah.
Yeah.
The intervention. So that was pretty cool, right? That was a great night.
That was a great night.
Wait, side note, we got the award presented to us by the New York Emmys executive director.
That's true.
Okay.
That is kind of cool.
But fun, yeah.
How does it feel? Like, have you taken a second to sit back and really take in the fact that you won an award for your web series that you created, that you have been nominated for Best Production on the very first play you ever wrote?
It's kind of weird. It's so wild.
Has it sunk in?
Yes and no.
Get it.
Because I'm just like, okay, those were like my first little, like, it's all like little footsteps. I'm taking like little steps to get to, I just want to have a career in it. I don't want to be famous. I just want to like
make money doing what you love.
Yeah. Yeah. And do it and just like enjoy it and be able to like highlight, actors and like other people and bring them up and like make them shine through my words or my works, I think that's amazing.
And I am so grateful to be a part of it all.
So that's my high, and people getting it and understanding it, because I like twists and turns sometimes.
I feel like a lot of her plays, not all of them, but they always have a twist to them that you're not expecting. And I love that fact. With that, what draws you to a twist? How do you see a twist? Does a twist just come or?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't force myself to write. When I have the body of work, yeah, like, when it comes, it just comes. Like right now, I'm supposed to be writing for the rest of the episodes of season 2. We only have 3 recorded up on, for people to view. But that's even been great because we got into a lot of festivals with telenovela.
Yes, I'll link it here.
I'm just not there. It's not coming out of me. And I don't want to force myself to write an episode. Like, I feel like it's fake. It's just not organic. Yeah. It's not authentic.
Has there been any challenges, like, with creating these works via film or theater?
I mean, there's always challenges in production.
That's fair.
Whether somebody's dropping out, equipment failure. We had struggles. But we made it. We did it.
We definitely did it.
And
you definitely did it.
I didn't quit. And I'm very proud of myself about that. It's a lot taking it on. Like, it's a very, very small crew. It was just me and Jesse really at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
He was my light guy. He was my sound guy. He was my
everything. Editor.
He's definitely the editor because that's where graphics. I mean,
and his graphics are great.
Yeah, he's a great artist.
So as a writer, producer, director, actress, the list goes on, how do you manage them all and balance these roles? What strategies do you use to help you stay in the flow and not be creatively burned out? And actually get everything done?
I mean, I have challenges and I'm still learning that.
Yeah.
I think that's always until you get like an assistant, like, hey, June, you have this, you have this, you have this, you have this, I mean.
So since it's like a one-woman show for the most part. For now. It's a lot of hats to wear.
It's I have to compartmentalize. I have to focus on which department at that moment I'm in. And when I do that, it's easier. That mode. Once you're in that mode, you're in it. I'm fine.
So whatever mode, once you're in there.
Once I'm in there, I'm just like, okay, I'm there. That's my focus.
I love that. I mean, I feel like it's hard for me. It's hard because I got ADHD, so I feel like I'm constantly having to bounce between different projects, and it's so hard for me to sit there and focus on one thing. So it's like if I'm, like, for example, when I'm editing podcasts, I'm often crafting as well while I'm doing it so that I can have something tangible to do. And then if I need to edit, I edit for a second and then continue. It's just like multitasking.
It helps you focus. That's your
Yeah. We all have, everybody's brain's different.
That's right.
I feel like.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There is definitely nothing wrong with that. I just feel like it's so interesting how human bodies work. It's so weird.
Well, I mean, when I have like a writer's block on a specific, let's just say like episode 4 of Go To Season 2, and it just doesn't come to me. I do have another script that I'm working on. So when I'm just not, I can't focus on this particular script,
you just put it down.
I put it down and I jump onto another one if it's like lingering in my head. If I have that like, oh, I can do this with I Was Here or whatever. So I'm just like, okay, boom. Or sometimes I might have, like I did this recently with the table read when I was working on The Cause Is You and I was here, I had both scripts up at the same time, and I would jump from one.
But that's like a cool little kind of concept behind it, or that's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
So reflecting on our collaboration and in the go-to and in the pub, collaboration in the sense of working together.
Yeah.
What aspects of it have stood out to you? So basically I'm saying, what do you love about me when in terms of acting?
Working with you, Aiden, because it's all about you.
And you could be honest too. Like you can be honest about
Oh my
of
God,
it.
you're frustrating, but he's talented, which is one of the reasons why when we first met, I was just like, yes, I need my Sam. You are Sam. So, but you're so giving of your time and of, your heart. Are you gonna cry?
No.
Just kidding. Your energy, your spirit, it's beautiful. You have great energy, great aura, and I try to surround myself with ambitious people and creatives.
Definitely think I'm ambitious, just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You're frustrating as but
and I'll own that. I will own that.
Yeah, sometimes I've had to yell at you on set. A little bit. But
I think that just comes with me getting too comfortable at times. And I totally, like, that's how I am everywhere. And that is one thing I do like about myself. Not the annoying, frustrating part or the comfortability of it all, but the fact that I feel like I am always me in all scenarios.
No, and that's a beautiful thing.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. You're very authentically you.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't pretend to be anything else. And that's beautiful.
Because it's exhausting having to pretend.
It is exhausting.
Oh God, who would want to do that?
I mean, people think that I'm kind of like bitchy because I'm still serious.
Because you have RBF?
Resting bitch face, yeah. I mean, I'm not mad.
So how do you approach collaboration with actors and the crew to foster a positive and productive work environment?
I collaborate with people I like, I vibe with. I feel their energy. They're talented from what I've seen, or I know I can pull what I need out of them.
Yeah. So throughout this, we've talked a lot about spirituality. You've referenced spirituality a lot.
Have I?
You have. Not a whole lot. But
Universe. I've mentioned universe,
you
energy.
mentioned a lot of different aspects of it. What role has spirituality played in your life and in your career? I'll tell you mine too after.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've learned to trust my gut, my intuition, ground myself. I've learned to meditate a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of words of affirmation for myself. It's okay to be in silence.
Yeah.
You get a lot of ideas when you're alone. It's okay to be by yourself. Just because you're by yourself doesn't mean that you're alone.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
I'm learning to flow with what's coming, and just be positive and, just be thankful for what you have.
That's what I lead with the most. I feel like my spirituality looks a little different. I can relate to the fact that I like being by myself. I love having my alone time. Like you said earlier, words of affirmation. Like I tell myself often that everything works out for me. It always does. And it does. It does.
What's meant for you will never pass you by.
But that's exactly it. It's just so insane.
And when
to
you
me.
sit with that and when you really feel it and understand it, you're like,
wow.
The disappointments aren't really as disappointing as
at all.
You're like, okay, wasn't meant for me. That was it.
Yeah.
It's meant for somebody else.
Next project. Next.
Thank you, next.
Thank you. Next. Looking ahead, June, what projects are you most excited about and what can audiences anticipate from the June Marie production company?
More work, obviously.
Obviously.
More
the go-to, hopefully.
Yes, we will get into the go-to.
I've been nagging her about this for a year now.
So has. When are we filming? And I'm just like, I am not in that headspace.
And I go,
I am in theater headspace. Play mode. I'm in play mode. I'm in play mode. So that's where I'm at. But But yeah, so we have to finish season 2 and then more plays. I actually want to like have like a full run. I would like to explore the pub again later.
As long as I get to be part of it, I agree. What advice would you offer to individuals aspiring to enter the entertainment industry, especially those considering a significant career change?
I didn't even think about it. I mean, I had a supportive family. So
me too.
You know, they were like,
very lucky in that
if
way.
you're happy, that's all we want. Like,
so just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I would say that too.
Yeah.
Because I
think if you think about it too much, you find all of the reasons why you shouldn't. Mm-hmm. You know? And
life's too short not to take that jump. You only have one.
And if it's in your head already, that's usually a sign to do it.
Truly. Spirituality. Mm-hmm. What do you hope your audiences take away from your work?
Even though there's loss, there's hope, there's love, just to keep going, not to stop. Like,
and I would say embrace authenticity, because I feel like that's a lot of what your projects are, is very authentic humans living their experience and just staying true to who they are.
Sometimes I'm just like, sometimes I don't even like know. Mm-hmm. And it's just so weird how when I'm writing, it's like the pieces have fit like a puzzle organically without me even realizing, like, okay, so how is point A going to get to point B? It just happens. It's so weird.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Why a podcast?
Well, I don't know. I feel like this is a long time coming. My TikTok career has really...
What is happening with that? Oh my God.
I know, back and forth. But my TikTok career has really guided me into this because I talk so much about my life, and people really related and connected with my traumatic moments. And I just want to show that there's more to me than that. And I want people to embrace who they are and really just, I don't know, get a good understanding of... I feel like I want the world to understand me as a whole, in all the different ways. That's another reason why I am starting my guest podcast people with people I know, because I want the world to know the people that I know and who make me me. That's one of the main reasons I started interviewing people as well.
We're gonna go viral.
Who knows? But
look, you just do it because it brings you peace of mind, and it brings you, you know, you're living your purpose. And that's all. And as long as you enjoy what you do and you feel, even if one person, you know, gets something out of it, that's a lot.
So this is my last 5 questions.
5 questions?
6 questions.
Jeez, these are crackers.
These are my last questions that I ask all my guests. What's one childhood dream you've kept alive or secretly still want to chase?
Ooh, acting.
Acting?
Yeah.
Nice. What's the most you moment you've ever had? Something that just screams your personality.
You would be better. Like, that's so June. I don't know.
So, for example, I would say a very me moment is like, I was at Sonic one day when I was in Texas last, right? And I was just talking to the guy over the intercom, and I was like, oh, can I get a coney, chili dog? And he was like, do you want a 6-inch or a foot long? And I was like, oh, just a 6-inch. Let's not get crazy.
Yeah, that is you.
That's a very me moment.
Well, a friend of mine always tells me that you have like this sparkly fairy dust that, you know, you draw people in.
I can agree.
So I'm just like, I'll take it. And I'm just like, you know, I'll try and like befriend someone and like, hey, what's up? Or how are you doing? And, you know, she's like, you just flash your smile and there they go.
She sounds jealous.
I don't know. She loves it. Like, that's a whole, like, she's like, it's that June fairy, you know, dust. Uh-huh. You know, and I'm just like, okay, I don't see it, but thanks. So
that's the perfect response, June.
You know.
Don't overthink these questions. If you could relive one magical moment in your life, what would it be?
I think I would like to, as it stands now, because that can change later. So I would like to do the Be Free Awards again. I would like to do the pub.
Again? Well, you're going to.
Well, I am, but...
That specific experience?
Yeah, again. That specific... I would, you know, knowing what I know now, I would do other things.
Yeah. What's one thing you'd want to be remembered for?
My work. I want to leave a legacy. My writing. I want the words to resonate with people, you know, and take away from it, you know, whether it's questions like, you know, I like having people talk about like, did you understand? Did you get that? I don't get that. Like, how did that work? Did you understand? Oh, that's what happened. I don't mind people like not knowing.
Discussion. You like
creating discussions.
What's a small moment or memory in your life that had a big impact on who you are today?
My grandma.
Period? Nice. Who in your life taught you the most about being true to yourself, and what did you learn from them?
Grandma. Mom. I think going through what I went through with my grandmother taught me that whole experience made me want to pursue the creativity. You know, like actually not being afraid of it and just to do it. Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, thank you so much, June. I really do appreciate you doing this with me, and I love you too, obviously.
But here, how awesome is it to have me as a friend?
It is pretty awesome. I mean, I've gotten a lot out of this friendship, and I hope you've gotten something too. You wouldn't win half these awards without my hystericalness, okay? She might have won some of the awards without my hystericalness. But I digress.
The people that have come into my life and that will come into my life are meant to come into my life. So I'm excited.
And I'm still here.
Yeah. I kept you.
Well, the universe did. Okay?
I kept you.
But thank you so much, everybody, for watching this episode, and please be sure to like, comment, share,
subscribe.
But share this with somebody who you think can relate to this or can be inspired by this. June has had such an incredible, amazing journey throughout her career and her life, and I think that it's inspiring because it inspires me to be better and push harder all the time. It really does. So thank you again. Love y'all. Mean it. Bye.
Bye.